Yo, comic fam, thanks so much for joining us today.
Hi everybody, welcome to MJ Comics. I'm your host James Mack, and tonight I'm really proud to present Comic Tom 101 onto the channel. Thank you, Tom, for coming on.
Yo, it's happy to be here. I appreciate you taking the time, and shout out to everyone who's here in the chat.
Thank you very much. I know you're a really busy guy. You've literally come straight on. This is probably like one of the first times where I've not really had the time to chat to somebody beforehand. So I don't know how, I don't know how.
Going to it cold, man. Sometimes you got to jump on in.
Brilliant. No, but I appreciate you coming on. Last week I had Ryan on, Fire Guy Ryan, and I've got to admit, I think you've got to give him a new name. He's got to change it. Nice Guy Ryan. That's exactly what
Nice Guy
it is.
Ryan.
Yeah, instead of Fire Guy Ryan.
No, he's Fire Guy. Are you fans of The Office?
Well, I've chosen this background for you. I don't know if you can see Stanley Hudson and Creed Bratton in the background.
Oh, I do. I see it back there. Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Well, I'm a massive fan.
I called him Fire Guy Ryan long before we ever did anything on the channel. So he's always been Fire Guy on my phone. And it was just always a joke between him and I. So kind of just stuck.
No. That's what happens. People get nicknames and they just stick for life, to be fair, don't they? So I'll just quickly say hello to people in the chat, if that's all right, and then we'll just jump straight into the question. Are you what are your? I mean, I don't want to keep you longer than what you want to be. Are you okay?
I got like 10, 11 minutes. No, just kidding. No.
That's
you got me for an hour. You're good.
That's good, brilliant. Right, so we've got Cliff on Comics in the house. Thank you, Cliff, for joining us.
What's up, Cliff?
We've got Sticky Goose Comics in the house.
Ooh. Sticky Goose. Yo, I'm gonna be on Sticky Goose's channel tomorrow, so make sure to follow Sticky Goose. He's got beef with me, so we're gonna be chatting.
So so I don't know if you saw you were sick last week, and a lot of people.
Well, I didn't want to do a show, so I said I was sick, but I was sick.
Yeah, a lot of people thought that you backed out, but so hopefully I can set.
Looks like Sticky Goose right there, actually.
The big bulbous beak on the top.
Yeah, a little bit, just a little bit.
No, but I can kind of help set the record straight, because last week I had Ryan on the channel, and I think this was last Thursday, and he basically said you called in sick that day. So,
oh yeah, man! I went to Vegas for a wedding, came back, and I had it was like 100+ degree temperature for like 5 days straight. Like I'm still sniffling. It was the worst sickness I've gotten in years. Yeah. So it's kind of crazy. I typically get sick after traveling, I do a lot of conventions and stuff, but this one kicked my ass. It was pretty bad.
Was it flu-like symptoms? Was it?
Oh yeah, but it wasn't COVID. It wasn't COVID, which was nice.
No. Was it many times? The Vegas flu, we'll call it the Vegas flu.
Yeah, I partied a little too hard, I think.
No, but that show is happening on Saturday the 28th.
Oh geez, I think it's tomorrow.
Is it tomorrow?
Should
yeah, sorry, yeah. Do you know what? It is tomorrow night. It's in my time. It's Saturday. That's why it's right, actually yeah.
You are in the future.
Yeah, I'm in the future. Yeah. We've got Danny P. Thanks for joining us. We've got Biker Man. Really appreciate you joining us. We've got JSS Brooklyn. Welcome. Thank you very much for joining us. How can someone be nearly headless? That's because I said you're nearly here. Don't worry about it. We've got my wife. Thank you for joining us, Gemma.
Hi, Gemma.
We've got Manu, the 9.9 newsstand.
That's
I can't think of a better way to enjoy my afternoon coffee. Hope everyone is well. Really appreciate you jumping in, brother.
You gotta hit me up, Manu. I miss chatting with you.
We've got we've got Razor Comics. Thank you, Ray, for joining us. He thought you were calling it off because you were a bit late, but
today?
Not. Yeah.
Nah, man, my cat was just needing my attention.
Oh. How many cats you got? I got
a dog. One cat. I got a dog, but I got a cat here in the studio. His name's Butch, and he is an orange cat, and he is very demanding. You'll probably hear him throughout this. He's been like doing the figure eights around my legs this entire time we've been chatting. It's very distracting.
Oh wow, yeah, I bet it is. We've got Luke's Journey into Thunder. Thank you very much, Luke, for joining us. Just quickly see if we've got anybody else in there. We've got Mighty Comics and Collectibles. He's got I don't know if you've seen his comic book community news skits.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I have. A few of them.
Yeah. We got Loss S in the house. Thank you very much. Perry Comics, thank you very much for joining as well.
Ah, Perry, dude, I miss you, Perry. Where you been, man?
We've got Austin the May, thank you very much for joining us. There's loads of people in here. So it's going to take a bit longer than normal. So thanks, Hufter, for joining. We've got Beulah in the house as well. Thank you, Beulah.
The Bubes. Love that guy.
Luis Mendoza, appreciate you dropping in. We've got Sammy Jane. Sticky Goose says classic case of the sniffles. The people don't understand, like man flu is like the worst flu you can get. And I hope you don't mind me saying, Tom, you are pretty high energy. So when you get low energy, I imagine it impacts you a hell of a lot.
Oh, it's rough, man. It's definitely rough because I've been doing a lot, you know. So when it's I already have to push myself a lot to do some of this stuff. So yeah, seldomly does it take me like out of the studio where I record. I typically record whether I'm sick or not. But this last time it didn't work out like that.
Oh man, I'm glad you're out of the rough of it now.
I'm doing good now, man. We're here.
We've got DJ Links in the house. Thank you, DJ, for joining us.
DJ Links is awesome. He's a really good cameraman editor too.
Oh, his editing skills.
Stuff.
Yeah. Who edits your videos?
I have a couple different people I've been working with over the last few years. Yeah, no one you guys would know.
Oh, we've got Amanda. Thank you for joining us. We've got Kenneth. Thank you very much for joining us. Right. So what the classic first question, Tom, is I pretty much kind of like, for anybody who's watching that probably might not know who you are, I'm assuming everybody knows who you are because you're Comic Tom. But the classic question is, who is Comic Tom? I know you are a collector, a creator, a dealer, and a comic book enthusiast. But who is Comic Tom?
Ooh, I love horror and stories, and
Yeah.
I'm like a family guy. You know, I'm like really big into hanging out with the homies who all happen to love comics as well. So like my life
thought
is
you meant
filled
the
with a bunch
TV
of
show.
comics. Oh, that's a good show too. But no, I meant more like, you know, like friends and family. But yeah, no, I started working comics. Well, really, I was like way back in the day with my dad. He like taught me how to read with comics. English wasn't his first language, so he really got into a lot of like American stuff through comic books. And when I was little, he shared that with me. So I grew up enjoying comics and like learning about superheroes and like weird stuff. Like I knew about Logan's bones being covered in adamantium from you know, like when I was like 4 or 5 years old. Like they would used to joke with their friends, like they would test their friends, you know, what's the name of the metal? And then if the friends were stumped, they'd be like, Tom, do you let them know? And I'd be like, oh, it's adamantium. Like I knew that kind of stuff because like I was just around all these geeks. And my dad at one point wanted to like start a comic book store when I was like 7, 8 years old. And he would never do it, but he would end up doing shows and like doing conventions and setting up at like swap meets and schools and in places where you can find comic books like the mall. And it was kind of like a side hustle for him. But then there was a point growing up where like my mom, who was like most of the breadwinner growing up, where she had lost her job and it became our only way to survive. So for a pretty long time, it was like me and my dad banging and boarding comics and you know, going to shows and doing that whole thing. I didn't like it. You know, I like comics, but I didn't like doing the grind.
The manual labor.
Yeah, like waking up at like 4 a.m. to pack the Suburban, and I was a scrawny kid. It hurt my hands and stuff. But I met a lot of really cool people. And by the time I was like in my 20s and I got back into collecting, because I've always liked comics, but I had money to spend. I'm like, all right, I kind of want to get a, you know, whatever it was at the time, Walking Dead books and Invincible books, you know. I kind of got back into it as just a passion, you know, a hobby kind of thing. And the people that I knew growing up through my dad, they were all still doing it. Like they're still at shows, you know, slinging books. So that network was always been there. And I kind of was like reintroduced to it. And yes, I mean, for the last, I guess it's like 14 years, really. I've been into it pretty hard. You know, went from hobby to passion to then like doing it professionally.
So how many years, from the sounds of it, you've been in like the comic book industry, like, you know, for quite a while since you were a kid. How many years do you think that has been?
I mean, it
Like
depends
since
on
you
what
were,
what you would call the industry, right? Like, if we're talking like
I'm
being
talking
around
bagging and boarding with your dad, like for his business. That's
Oh,
pretty.
yeah, yeah, since I was like, man, I'd be bagging and boarding since I was like 7 years old. I
Wow.
mean, 6 years old. I mean, there was a point when I was, between the ages of 6 to 7 to 10 years old, like, right around there, like, the 3, 4 year span where we
Yeah.
literally lived in the back of a comic book store. Like, my
Yeah.
dad managed a store, and there was an apartment behind the store, and there was an apartment above the store, all connected. And the owner of the store lived in the apartment above, and my dad rented out this 3 bedroom behind the store, and
Yeah.
he managed the comic shop. So, I would be at his house. I went to Catholic school growing up, so, like, I stayed a lot at my grandparents' house, but for, like, 3, 4 days a week when I was with my dad, I'd be in the apartment Saturday morning watching Spider-Man, maybe play
Yeah.
some PlayStation or something, and then, "Oh, I'm gonna go play some Magic or D&D or, go
Oh,
read a comic," and I just go through the kitchen and go through the beads because my dad was a hippie, and, go in the back of a store, and the store was like my oyster. Whatever I wanted, I would be able to just, like, pull off the shelf and enjoy, and, I was just, like, I was in it, I was always just, like, checking out books and learning about graphic novels and, like,
yeah.
reading and playing a lot of Magic and a lot of D&D.
So it's fair to say that you are pretty much a bit of a comic book expert. Would you would
I think
you
so.
say that? Yeah.
Yeah, I would say so.
Compared
I
to
mean,
most.
I'm pretty I mean, I would say that I mean, I'm not an expert in Golden Age.
Yeah.
I'm fairly dangerous in the Silver Age. I know way more Bronze and Copper. I know a hell of a lot of Modern. I mean, you can spend your whole life learning about this stuff and still not be considered an expert across the board.
Yeah.
But I do know a great deal. I do joke a lot about how like randomly. And I'm sure there's people in the chat who have experienced this too. When you're just like chilling with your friends, you're talking about comics, and like something you'll either one of your friends will say something or you'll say something or like some random fact like
Yeah.
about a book like oh Marvel team up 141 and Spectacular Spider-Man 90 they came out about 2 weeks after 252 but it's all considered this like you say with one of those things and you stand back and go god I know all this useless information like when am
Yeah.
I ever like outside of comics it's just nonsense like why do I know these months
Yeah. Yeah.
but I have a lot of those types of moments in my life. I surround myself with some pretty damn smart people who have been
Yeah.
doing this a lot longer than me.
Now, so what I might do with you, if that's okay, I want to test your knowledge a little bit, if that's okay. And what
Yeah,
I'm
let's
gonna,
do
is
it, man.
that
Let's
right?
do it. I got Key Collector up here. Let's go.
No, you're not allowed to use key collector. Am I joking?
Uh-oh. Let's do
No.
it.
So right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you part of a comic book cover, and you've got to guess what it is. Do you think you
Oh,
can do
geez.
it?
Okay, I'll try. Let's do it.
Let's go for it then. So the first one, then. You ready? And
Let's
people
do
in the
it.
chat, have a go at guessing if you really want to. But this is the first image. Do you recognise what cover this might be from?
And First in Humans, for whatever reason, just came to mind because like the hair,
What?
but that's
Well,
probably
you
not
wouldn't
right.
be wouldn't be far off,
Yeah.
but it's not. It's not what you think.
Okay. Nothing's ringing a bell off the cuff in the chat. You
Uh,
got to help me out with this one.
Chat. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Is anyone
Who knows
what's
this
the
one?
chat saying? Nobody's having a guess in the chat. They're too scared.
Yeah, it's like who's the red hair on the right is what's getting me. It's what's tripping me up.
Well, it's kind of current at the moment. There's a TV series out. I'll give everybody a bit of a clue.
It's a TV series out.
Just started last week, I believe.
Oh, okay, so something with Agatha. Okay,
Oh,
hold
so
up, man. That's like not Hellboy
what-
one. I look, dude. You stumped a lot of people here because like typically you'd see at least some people.
well, I'll tell you what it is. It's Fantastic Four issue number 94.
Oh, it is. Oh, wow. Honestly,
So
I don't think I've ever noticed that guy in the left.
no, to be honest,
Hilarious.
I'm kind of stumped to even figure who he is without reading the book.
Okay.
But I've tried to make them a bit obscure.
They're
There's a bit,
relevant.
there's some
like it.
easier ones, but we'll go through them as we go through. But
That was a good one.
that's all right.
But now no one's gonna forget that. Everyone's gonna be able to tell that cover from that
first
small little
appearance of
sliver there.
Agatha Harkness, but yeah, nice. So in terms of kind of it being like a family business and you growing into it,
Sure.
as an adult now, do you feel like there's a bit of pressure on you, like growing up and trying to succeed in this industry?
Not really. I know I never
No.
really put that kind of pressure on myself. I just really enjoy comics, and um, from the beginning, it was just about providing value to the community and
Yeah.
wanted to do something that. I mean, originally the idea of the YouTube channel was like I told this to Ryan. All the guys on the channel can attest to this, but I told them like, hey, we're not here to try to like become a giant channel. You know, we're never gonna
Yeah.
be like Gem Mint, is what I would say. Like, you know, or Barry in comics. Like some of these people that I now call some of my best friends. Prior, when we first started, I didn't know who they were. I'm like, oh no,
Yeah.
we're not making content. We're not gonna like. What are the odds? You know, like who are we? We're
Yeah.
not. We don't know how to do this stuff. I just wanted to make content for the peeps who were bagging and boarding and
Yeah.
in their bedroom just chilling. Who are prepping for a con, getting their lawn boxes organized, you know, things like that. Dealers, for example, just taking the conversations that I was already organically having with my
Yeah.
homies and yeah, let's just make some content around that, you know, like some like real comic stuff, comic collecting stuff. And through that, I realized that like whatever pressure I do feel, it's a sense of responsibility to try and get as many people into comics that are interested as possible because
Yeah.
it's not the easiest thing to get into. It's kind of like a foreign language. Like that's how I describe it. You know, like once you really get into it and you start to learn your books and you start to get well versed, all of a sudden now you know a language other people don't know.
Yeah.
And but there's just like there's so much to know. Um, but like yeah, any pressure I put on myself is to like try to just make the content as as best as I can make it. And you mind if I oh shoot, this is Nikki B from Dynamite. Oh, I was would have put him on the mic for you.
You can if you want.
Good, I'm nah. He'll be all right. He'll be all right. He'll be in the chat in a second. This dude's always on the chat. Shout out Nikki B. But yeah, I'd say the most pressure I put on myself is to like, you know, I just want to really make comics palatable for everybody,
Yeah.
everyone, and open the doors as much as I can to if someone wants to like get into like reading stuff or collecting stuff, like there's a way to start, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's it's very commendable of you, to be honest. And I think like for me, you know, growing up reading comic books, I think probably I didn't like to read books. Like I found it boring. I still find it boring today to read just like a solid book.
Same.
And
I'm the same way.
I think it is probably like reading comics and video games that really helped me like at school compared to other kids who probably didn't have those geeky obsessions like I did. And you know, and I think it's a way that children can have enjoyment of reading. Like it's on a whole different level, I find.
No, I
Um,
agree. That's what I use to, you know, it's kind of like the compromise at school. My parents were super chill. They're like, "Oh, you have to read something in
yeah,
class, like reading time or something." You know, like they'd have those like half hour, you got to read a book or something. I'd always bring graphic novels,
yeah,
and there every so often a teacher or substitute, whoever was there, would be like, "Oh, this doesn't count. You need like a book," and I'd be able to go like, "Oh no, my dad said it was fine. You can send me wherever you want. My dad will say
yeah,
it's okay for me to read Dark Knight Returns or Hell Hellblazer or whatever I was reading at the
yeah.
time. Um, and yeah, sure enough, if they ever like challenge it, my dad would just say, "No, he's allowed to read that. That's
He's
what I
allowed
want
to.
him to read." You know?
That's great. That's great. So Tom, what do you collect yourself at this current time? What are you, you know, because you are a seller as well as obviously a collector. You're a born and bred collector. What do you collect now for yourself? Do you collect Hellboy? Do you collect what do you do?
What am I collecting right now? I like collecting variants. That's something I
Yeah,
do enjoy. You know, a lot of like James Tynion stuff.
yeah,
I have a nice collection of mimetic. Definitely a book I believe in, I really enjoy. I have a bunch of Nice House on the Lake that I've been acquiring. I also have a good healthy amount of, like, Department of Truth stuff, that I
yeah.
kinda kept
So you're a very
aside.
big James Tynion fan then.
Oh, he's, like, probably the best writer of our generation. Like, he's up there,
Okay.
like, top 3 for sure. Um, The Crow, I do collect some Crow. Whenever I can find something really dope, like I have a couple like of James O'Barr signed stuff from before he changed his signature. I also collect some foreigns as well. I really enjoy the well, one, scarcity is a pretty big factor for me.
Yeah.
Once you, because I've been doing this for such a long time, you acquire books, you hunt for books, and once you kind of go through the hunt, then you see some of these books a lot and you acquire some of them more than once, and then all of a sudden they're not as special. Like they're all
Yeah.
awesome, they're equally great,
Yeah.
but like Hulk 181 was like a big book for me for a long time. I gotta get a Hulk 181, I gotta get a Hulk 181. And then you get like a few of them, like over time you acquire them, you do some trades. I got
Doesn't
lucky, I
feel as
graded
special then.
one, and
Yeah.
then it's like, well, I have it, I can get it if I want it, and then all of a sudden my taste gets a little bit more, I'm getting a little bougie is what I'm saying. Like I'm getting a little
Yeah.
bougie. I would say you can probably fit my entire PC in one short box right now. I have a lot
Wow.
of stuff from fans of the show I keep. They'll send me some really cool stuff. I also
What's the
have
strangest thing you've been sent?
I've been sent some stuff that's like, "Hey, this was recalled at the printer, but
Oh,
I
okay.
got it because I'm friends of a person who works there," kind of thing, and
Okay,
"Don't
cool.
post this because it's not supposed to exist," kind of thing, and I'm like, "What do I do with it? Okay, well, I'm
Oh,
not gonna
man.
sell it. I'm just gonna keep it here." Um, and then, like, also, like, I've been in some, like, strange situations where I'm like, "Oh, I'm chilling at a bar and Jim Lee's drawing for people over in the corner, and he drew this thing." And I go, all right, cool. So like, I have some like really like, oddity stuff, but I would say like the stuff that's like the stuff that I'm gonna struggle to let go. I may let go one day. I don't know. I have some stuff from like some of my favorite creators,
Yeah.
and stuff that they've done in the past. I own a Great Salt Lake City Comic Con pamphlet, the
Hmm.
prototype of Hellboy, which is it's a ghost. It's probably under 15, maybe under 10 that exist to this day. And it was actually featured in the Mike Mignola documentary that just came out last week. If you watch the what is it? Drawing Monsters documentary. Yeah, you got it right there. That's
I've
cool.
got this, guys. This is segued into it. Don't worry.
There
So
you go. So
there
yeah,
you go.
so that right there, yeah, it
Do you
took me
say it was
10
only
years to acquire.
$2.99 on Amazon to watch it?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like $3. It's such a great documentary. It's hilarious. Like they go
And those are
through
your hands
so
there. We can
those are
confirm
my
that.
hands. That's me right there, man. I am in the Mike Mignola documentary. I was very proud of that.
So
Um,
I think I commented on this post, and I think CJ Comic Journey.
yeah,
You're giving him a run for his money with those hands, mate.
I appreciate it, man. It's I did get a manicure before that. I made sure my nails were looking good. It was funny though, because the I knew the documentary was being created,
Speaking of
and
CJ, he's in the house.
what's up, Comic Journey? He does a good show. I've been on it before.
Yeah, he's very good, very good.
But yeah, we had this documentary was in production for like 2 or 3 years, and I got hit up by the producer, the director who's putting the whole thing together, and he's like, "Hey, the whole thing's done, but we do not have a good shot of the pamphlet, and we can't find one." And though apparently some that he's like, why is Tom hand trolling you? Oh man, that's funny. Yeah, because Comic Journey doesn't. He's not on camera. He's saying, "Why isn't Tom
No,
hand
no.
trolling you?" Like, no
When
respect.
you went on his show, you and Ron went on with your hands, didn't you? So that's really
Oh,
good.
we did. Oh, that's right. Yeah, I almost forgot.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did that. Yeah, we are trolls, aren't we? But yeah, no. So he hit me up. He's like, "I can't find anybody with this damn thing." So I'm like, "Yeah, I got it."
That's
And
pretty cool.
what I told him was, "I'll only show you 3 pages, the front
Yeah,
and this 2-page spread." Which isn't a 2-page spread, but it's like, the 2 pages right there. That was the agreement because I have been sworn to secrecy that I will never take pictures of this collectible because it'll be replicated. It'll be someone will make
Oh, yeah, yeah.
a fraud, a fake version of it. And that's like how rare this item is that
Wow.
I would lose the respect of a lot of people, specifically Mignola collectors, if I ever took more than like, if I ever showcased more than what you see right here, because it's
Yeah,
that rare. So yeah, it
yeah.
took me like 10 years to acquire it. That copy that I own, it actually is the last copy to sell publicly. And then I bought that copy that had sold publicly.
Are you okay with saying how much you bought that for, or are you not?
Oh yeah, I paid like $10,000 for that.
Oh my days! Oh
Yeah,
my
but
days!
it sold on eBay for I think it was 7,000. So
Yeah.
the person who got it, he's a friend of mine. He's a Mignola collector, and he hit me up that day, and he's like, "Yo, dude, have you gone on to eBay yet?" Because like, yo, this is one of those pieces that I have a eBay save search on there longer than the history of my channel. Like,
Wow.
if is one of these come up, I get notified on like 3 different platforms. Like, it's that kind of piece. Um, so he hit me up and he's like, "Yo, have you gone to eBay? Have you seen it yet?" And I'm like, "What?" He goes, "I just want to let you know that you had no chance." Like, I knew it. He's like, "I just want you to know." He said, "It's
Didn't
gonna."
even.
He said that the person who owned it hit him up and let him know that he was gonna put it as a buy it now for $7,000 or something,
Yeah.
and that he was letting him know so that if he wanted to
Okay.
get it, he can just be ready to just pull the trigger. So the guy put it up for 7 grand and it sold within 30 seconds for $7,000. And then that guy called me and he's like, "Dude, don't be upset, but I bought it. I got it."
Oh man.
And then 2 years later, he hits me up and he's like, "Yo, I'm looking to get this Frank Miller, this and this. And do you want to get it?" And I'm like, "All right, let me
Yeah.
move some stuff. I have to. Like, I'm gonna get this thing."
Yeah. Yeah.
So
That's pretty
um,
cool. That's a
yeah.
great story.
So now I
Um,
own that.
it's so it's talking about CJ. I went on a show with CJ once, and we basically together we form the ultimate interview person.
you
So
you guys fused together.
fused together. Funny enough, my wife actually sent me this and said, "Have you actually seen this? This is pretty funny." So
That's
I thought it
hilarious.
was
I
pretty
like
cool.
that.
But no, that's fine. So what I will do, Tom, is I will go to use your expertise again. We require your expertise and
Uh-oh.
anybody in the chat who can guess what this next book is. It's this might I'm
Second
hoping
appearance of
this is
Agatha. What is that?
yeah,
FF
the second appearance.
110?
It's testing your knowledge, but this is the book. This is the I'll get rid of the banner to help out.
Yeah, you're like pulling off the okay, so it's Silver Surfer, right? That's gotta be his
Mm,
board right there, no?
oh, no,
Are you guys
no.
oh wait, that's just the gun. Maybe it's flashing a
Yeah,
gun.
that's the yeah. I had to
Okay.
purposely cut the gun because I didn't know whether or not I'd be able to show it.
Bueller says it's Hellboy 1, which is not a comic book, Bueller. Come on. Bueller.
Let's have a look. Oh, people are
Okay.
guessing. People are guessing. Some good guesses.
Yeah, that looks like it's not Spotlight 5. No.
Very close. Very
Is it
close.
Ghost 1?
Ghost Rider issue number 1.
Yeah, those guys on the sides.
Yeah. So I've
Guys on
tried
the
to
sides.
make
I'm
it
like,
so
dude, that looks
obscure
like
that you
Silver Surfer's board or
yeah,
Johnny
yeah,
Blaze.
yeah.
The
Awesome,
wind.
awesome cover. Absolutely awesome.
How do I pull
Uh,
up can I pull up the chat on here? I have
yeah.
pin comments here. Oh, okay, hold on. Live. Hey, there's everybody.
Yeah, there's too fair. There's
I
quite a
like
lot.
it.
I really struggle trying to keep on top of like the chat and like my notes and all that stuff as well. So I apologize to people watching if I'm not paying attention closely to the chat. But my wife is in the background and she's starring questions that you guys have got for Tom that at some point we'll put to him if that's all right.
Let's do it.
So the next question, Tom, is what is Comic Tom's goals? What do you want, Tom? What do you want from your channel or in life? What do you want to achieve?
What do I want? Man, I don't even really think about stuff like that. Like I'm just trying to get people into comic books. So I just want to make content that people enjoy.
Yeah,
I want to work with creators that I respect. Hopefully can learn from them. I wrote my first comic over this last year. That would have been on my list. So I guess like writing another comic would be really cool.
yeah,
I want to see all my friends successful. My homies who have LCS stores and who are, been doing this kind of either a long next to me or prior to me. I want to see all them find success. I have a small team that allows me to do what we do, like
yeah,
putting content together and uh, getting, acquiring collections and doing like the distribution, all that kind of thing. So like I want my team to do well. But yeah, I mean, just like really long term, I want to collect some really cool books. I want to write more comic books. I want to been thinking about like making a movie. That'd be
Oh
kind of
wow.
cool too. Yeah, like
Yeah, yeah,
I'm a big fan of horror, you know? So like I'd say like I like horror more than superhero stuff. And I've always been like that.
yeah,
And I guess there's been a in the back of my mind, like, oh, I want to make a horror movie one day. I think that's definitely something that's like would be on my goal list. But like that's like a personal thing. As far as my like professional goals,
yeah.
um, I
Oh,
want to
it could be. That could be
yeah, it
your
could be professional too, but like,
yeah,
you know, like passion project kind of thing.
yeah.
Um, but I guess like one big thing that's been on my mind a lot and something that I've been kind of doing alongside that I feel like not a lot of people really know, but getting like kids into comics has been a passion of mine.
Yeah.
I think I have probably outside of like some publishers have brought to press more children's books than probably anyone
Mhm.
possibly in our space. I've teamed up with creators of all different types of creators and brought to press books so that they could be like given away.
Yeah.
We have donated thousands of comic books, and
Is
and
that
hooked
through
up a
like
lot of people.
non-profit organizations or like just
Y
going out and about?
yeah, yeah, go both.
Both.
It depends, you know, if the nonprofit can take them on, we'll get them there. Sometimes it makes more sense for us to just get them to LCSs, and they'll promise to just hand them out and give them to kids. Out here in Washington, in the area that I live in, there's, like, different events that happen in the summer,
Yeah.
like, we're gonna sometimes throughout different seasons, like Halloween, etcetera, and the city just gets packed with people, and whenever we do stuff like that, we'll distribute well over 1,000 kids' books, and I'm talking, like, comics that are appropriate for families to enjoy, not, like, necessarily, like it's like the goal is that, you know, the kid can enjoy them by themselves or they can read it with their family.
Yeah.
Um, but I think that's like probably I would say like that's one of my biggest goals is trying to preserve this for like the next gen because I feel like I owe so much to comics and if that didn't happen to me, I wouldn't have. I mean, who knows what I wouldn't have experienced, you know, growing up because a lot of my academic life was built on a foundation of like learning how
Comics.
to read
Yeah.
and comic books in general. So
I mean, the one of my questions later on is heavily about that, but I mean, you've recently had like a collab with Marvel where you had like a shared post on Instagram and you got like 3.2 million views. Is that one in the middle there? If you can see it for the whatnot exclusive comic trading packs. I mean,
yeah, it was
that
a pretty big
3.
week for me. Pretty big
That
week for
was
me.
that was
Yeah.
crazy. So I've got to congratulate on that because that is like you should be really proud of that and your team, and it's pretty incredible. How does that
Yeah.
feel?
Thank you. It feels good, man. Like it was it's not every day that you're told that, hey, Marvel knows your stuff. We got a lot of fans of you over here and they want to work with you if you're down to work with them. And obviously I work with Whatnot. So there's this like, you know, just like people in my corner. And it's like, hey, if you want to do this, that's cool. And I'm like, damn, hell yeah, I would love to do something with Marvel. I didn't know they were going to collab the post. I didn't know it was going to be on their Marvel official post. So this
Yeah,
is like the biggest piece of content I've ever been part of. Like 3+ million views on it. Like it was
yeah, yeah,
like 2,000 followers overnight type of thing. Like just absolutely mind blowing that happened. This may be the most successful, like mainstream comic collecting slash reading post this year. I don't know of any other, and this is like not, I'm not saying like I'm taking credit for this. This is like
yeah,
the product itself, the X-Men 97, like the thing that Marvel and Whatnot collab, like that they did. And then obviously with some of the ads that were made and like my video, I don't think I've ever seen so much attention on a Rob Liefeld variant. You know what I mean? Like it's a
yeah,
cool
yeah,
thing, and I think that's I think it's a very big accomplishment on Marvel's side that they're like, you know what? Let's step into the collector side of things because I tell you, in like this last 7 years, man, I've been covering this market. They like to avoid us,
yeah. Yeah, I did
and
see.
not just Marvel. I mean, like, all the industry. They know the collectors are important. They serve us, but they'll serve us through a couple layers of like, curtains. They want to serve us, but they also kind of like don't want to look at us directly because they're just so focused on the other stuff because it's a little easier. There's less headache to be just focusing on the reading side of things and those numbers. But you know what? If they don't like make that 1 in 25 variant, well, this shit will sink. So we gotta make sure that they're happy over there. And this right here is just like them going all in. Like 200 printed of a foil Marvel variant. I never ever thought I'd see the day that happened, and it happened. And that's me talking about it, which is kind of crazy.
I did see Rob Liefeld talking about you in one of his reels. That was pretty cool as well.
Rob is a hoot. We traded numbers a while back. So I just like will randomly get messages from Rob Liefeld, or I'll shoot him a message and we'll just like talk shop or something. And he's just such a cool dude. Like he's so real,
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I definitely am a big Rob Liefeld fan, and he definitely loves his community. And if you haven't seen Rob on Whatnot, like you don't have to go if you got something.
You don't have to buy
care for live options or whatever. You need to like check Rob Liefeld on Whatnot. He's unhinged. Like he should just be taking every one of his live streams, giving it to an editor to cut out any dead air, and they should just be posting that. It'll probably be some of the best content that you can experience.
So we've got a couple of questions in the chat, which is kind of relevant to this topic. But Amanda Hunt, who is Jason Parker, I don't know if you know Jason Parker Comics, is his wife. Hey, Comic Tom, are you writing your own stories yet? You do have your own comic book series.
It counts, right? If you use AI to write it, because I have to put the prompts in. This is an AI comic book. The whole
you had to type in the question to the AI, so it's yours.
That's why. No, I use no AI on this. I'm just kidding. Someone's gonna clip it and it's gonna get me in trouble. No, but for real. This is my first published work. I teamed up with Fire Guy Ryan and we co-wrote this 4-issue miniseries, and it's more like 4.5, almost 5 issues long. Issue 4 is like 33 pages. It's like a one-shot finale. And the graphic novel, you can order it right now. Like it's actually in previews. It just dropped in previews like a week ago. And it'll be at your LCS. You can get the whole graphic novel. But this released this year, issues 1 through 4. It's a horror sci-fi thriller. I just rewatched a bunch of Alien because of Romulus, and then like I just love those movies.
I think I did this exact same.
Yeah, I'm glad I didn't watch those movies right before writing this book, because there's a handful of things where I'm like, oh, yeah, that's kind of why I thought about that scene in that way. Like, because it's like I just love Alien and Lovecraft stuff so much. So, it's like a little bit of Alien, Lovecraft, and also Lost. If you've ever seen that show. A lot of like character development, going back in time kind of thing, but basically just about people who are the last surviving people of Earth going to a new planet to repopulate.
I talked about it a lot. I talked about it a lot last week with Ryan. So if any after this show, or whenever anyone in the chat is watching, go and check out that show, Ryan, because he talks a lot about that as well.
And we got living horror legend Ben Templesmith on the art. He is the co-creator of 30 Days a Night, which is a cult classic horror movie, not just comic book.
Josh Hartnett, great movie.
I gotta rewatch it again. Like I love that movie. I watch the movie at least every year, at least once a year.
We've got some more questions. So we've got disenfranchised Vertech One, or Ver One Tech. When do you think the next comic book rally will be?
The next rally. What does that mean?
Rally. I don't know. Don't have a clue.
The next rally. Probably tomorrow. Maybe Sunday.
Seems like we're in a bear market right now. Any predictions on the next big thing?
Yeah, I mean, it's a tough one right now because like I struggle wanting to move any old vintage. Like I feel like right now, whenever I have some Silver Age, I just want to put it away. And whenever I'm seeing stuff as cheap as it is, I'm like, damn, I kind of want to buy that. And I say it every day. Like if I did that every time, I would have to sell my cat. Like it's like I don't know. It's like this. It's some stuff seems like it's just getting. We're in adjustment period. I think that's really what it is. Like the boom of like 3 years ago was so insane that now stuff is actually kind of like adjusting. And I just said adjustment period. It's adjusting. It may adjust more. No, but outside of that, the whole grading market is also impacting things heavily. So
Yeah.
my predictions, the next big thing, I don't know what the next big thing will be, but I think the next big impact is already happening, which is the grading comic market and the
Yeah.
adjustment period that's causing. The influx of grades are lowering prices, in my opinion, faster than the book's actual true value.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because like we cover these books every week.
Yeah.
So when I hit the mic and I go, yeah, okay, this book is down $50, but there's 30 new 9/8s in 7 days.
Yeah.
Like, okay, well, that's the supply demand type of situation going on here. I also think another prediction, and 99 Newsstand, we've chatted about this a bunch too. Purchasing books that are like strong in grade, that have better eye appeal than others. Like
Yeah.
no more are the days of like, oh, it's a 9/8, so just like
I'll
whatever,
just
it's a
accept
9/8.
it. Yeah. Yeah. Just
No,
accept.
it's like, yeah, you got to be ready to use that 30-day eBay, get your money back if it's not the right, if you get the book in person and you're just like not happy with it, because you can see like it's a, what do they call it? A gift grade. That's
Yeah.
I didn't come up with that. That's Manu, but yeah, no more gift grades. Like it's got to be a freaking strong 9/8.
Yeah.
And I think people are going to likely value the 9/8s less over time, not to a point where it's like a problem, but like, yeah, if it was a 9/8 that was worth $300, it's probably going to be worth closer to like 180 to 200. Depends on the book. I'm speaking very
Yeah.
broad here.
Yeah.
But I think what that'll inevitably do is make it so that the 9/8s aren't as attractive because of scarcity.
Yeah.
It's not as scarce, and then people are going to start looking for rarer stuff, and that's when stuff gets kind of fun. That's when people
Yeah.
start looking at variants and incentives and things like
Yeah.
that. I've always been a big fan of like oddities,
Yeah.
errors, and like double covers and Mark Jewelers. I think I'm actually one of the very first people to make like a dedicated video on Mark Jewelers. And I
Yeah.
was one of the very first people to cover newsstands the way I did. I was a fan of those since I was like a teenager. Like I remember back in the day joking on the con floor when someone was trying to like my buddy, who was it? I think it was Russ. I think it was Mill Geek. And he had like 5 copies of ASM 365,
Yeah. Yeah.
the
The first Miguel
2099.
O'Hara.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And he had like 5 of them there, and they're all $10 books, but
Yeah.
they were newsstands. And he's like, "Yo, I'm gonna give them to you for $30." And I'm like, "Why are you gonna give me for $30?" Like, "'Cause they're newsstands." And then he just looked at me and he just started laughing. And
He
then he sold
thought
them to me
that.
for $10. He
Yeah.
because it was a joke. But like,
Yeah. Yeah.
because it used to be a joke, but also we were like, we know it matters, but not enough people knew it mattered, so
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
didn't matter. But
Yeah.
now it matters. And I just gotta say, like, yo, keep an eye out on Whitman's, baby. Whitman's are
Yeah.
freaking dope
Yeah. Yeah.
too,
Yeah. That's a great
Pence
answer. Yeah.
variants, like foreigns, like I think there's a whole potential wave of things that could be exciting to consider
So,
in the
have you
future.
got any British Pence variants or any British comics?
I'm sure I do, but nothing that nothing key worthy. Like I just have
Nothing
like
to write
random
home
ones I'll
about.
throw in there
Yeah.
because I don't want to
Yeah.
price them, dude. Like
Yeah.
you're like, okay, well, if the standard US version is $50 and it's a Pence variant and it's not like super
Yeah.
expensive, it's like I want to keep it. It's
Yeah.
like it's
They,
I
they
don't know.
normally sell for, I'll probably say, like maybe about 20% less, depending on
Right.
what the book is. They're not as sought after. And I'm British, and I live in England, but I've always turned my nose upon them. I've
Sure.
always preferred it like Saints copies, but now I'm kind of like, you know what? I really don't. Well, especially when we had the pandemic, because book prices were just insane. You will know that more than most, but I just was like, yeah, I'm happy to have a Pence copy now because it's cheaper.
Hell yeah.
So, but
It's a foreign. It's cool. It's
yeah,
like it's not even really I think people look at them like they're reprints, but they're different editions.
Yeah.
And I think the more people learn about how unique those editions are, the more value they'll get.
Yeah. 100%. JSS Brooklyn has a question, which I think is about D&D. Is that Dungeons and Dragons? Tom, do you own the original D&D record version of deities and demigods from back in the day?
No, I just borrowed books from the store.
Ah,
I didn't actually own half the stuff that I enjoyed growing up because I was
fair.
a kid in a candy shop.
Well, I can tell you now, tomorrow night, if you and Sticky Goose have any sort of dead air or anything like that, if you guys will talk about Magic of the Gathering, because I think he's a massive fan. So you'll be
Jeez, I
all
haven't
right.
played in a minute, but I
Oh
do
yeah.
enjoy Magic.
Ah. We've got what is your favorite EC Golden Age cover?
That's a tough one. I will say that it changes. Some of my favorites are Jack Davis war covers, Two-Fisted Tales types of stuff. So powerful.
Yeah.
Obviously, I love a lot of horror, but I also love a lot of romance. And like Matt Baker stuff has always been something that I vibed with growing up. And but yeah, I would say like Jack Davis is it'd be up there. It'd be up there.
Cool. Well, that's a great question, Jason. Thank you
Two-Fisted
very much.
Tales though, like look, just all those war covers, man, they're so freaking
Yeah.
cool. I'm
Jason
not even
Parker
a
is
big war guy. Like I don't like war movies or anything. I don't like reading
yeah,
war stuff, but there's just something so it's such Americana, you know?
yeah. No,
Brutal.
Jason is a bigger collector of that, and I'm sure he'd be very happy with your answer of that. We're JSS Brooklyn has given a super chat. I just want to say thank you very much for that. Really appreciate it. He says,
Thank you.
excellent interview. Thank you, MJ and Tom and Gemma, which is my wife. She's lurking in the background. Chris Bell has asked, thank you, Chris, for joining. Really appreciate it, but it's good to see you. Which is most important for success, perseverance, personal interest, or professional standards? Or is it all of them or none of them? That's a
Okay,
very
so
deep
let me
question,
break that
Chris.
down. The most important for success. So perseverance, personal interest, or professional standards. You won't do anything and you won't even like have a chance of having success if you don't have a personal interest in it. That's
Yeah.
probably the first thing. You actually have to have a passion for it. And whatever you do. For me, I really enjoy the comic books. So, you know, back when I was in my late teens, early 20s, when my friends were drinking and hanging out and playing beer bong, I'd be on the couch with my Overstreet Price guide learning my
Oh,
X-Men. You
Tom,
know,
you're
we didn't have
hardcore.
we didn't have key collector, you
Yeah.
know? Like if you wanted to spec back in the day, you were on CBSI, on Google Plus. And if you don't even know what that is, it's because doesn't exist anymore. Like we're talking before Facebook. Like, you
Yeah.
know, you had to be in the CGC forums and you had to be on like Reddit, you know, like you're
Yeah.
looking for these groups so that you can all collab together and figure out like, yo, back in the day, trying to figure out what books had a Mark Jeweler potentially. But that was a thing. We had lists going and we wouldn't give those lists out to people because you didn't want them out there. So like
Yeah.
you had to actually give two shits about it. Like, you had to really be excited to open that
Yeah.
price guide out. So I would say like personal interest for sure is like there's no starter to it if you don't have a passion for it because you may just be doing this for hours, you know?
Yeah.
And that's drawing. I work with artists and that's definitely something like I've always wanted to draw, but now that I work professionally with artists, I know I could never do what they do because I
Yeah.
know that Johnny Desjardins or John Boy Myers or Ben Templesmith are going to be in their room in their dungeon for 12 hours today because that's what they love to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they know if they put that extra hour, 2, 3, 4, 5 hours in, that's going to put them ahead of someone else. You don't get that through perseverance. You get that through passion.
Yeah.
And then there's perseverance for sure, but like the root of it is they just have this, they have to do it. They want to do it.
Yeah.
Professional standards though in everything. You
Yeah.
got to be ethical and especially in comics. Cuz like, you know, it sounds cringy as hell, but with great power comes great responsibility. Like that everyone just went, "Oh, Tom, you just said that." But that's like
No.
it's the truth, man, cuz it's comics cuz like on one end it's so easy to screw up. Like
Yeah.
you can spend way too much money. You can buy something at the wrong time. You could buy something that's restored. You can buy a
Yeah.
reprint and not know it. There's so many mistakes that someone can make that it can just get you turned off really, really fast.
Yeah.
And there's some shady ass people out there. Um,
Yeah.
but also in comics, we have some of the smartest people because you don't go and buy a 9.8 versus a 9.6 and spend $1,000 or $8,000 on a whim because you just
Yeah.
are like, maybe, whatever. Like it's just 8,000. Like, no, these people, like, they know their shit. They
Yeah.
really know. They know 9 pages to the center, 9 pages to the end. How does the comic smell? And how does it look when I put it at an angle like this? Like
Yeah.
these are really smart people. So it's really important to just do everything, everything on the up and up, and just do good by people. Comic karma is what we say because it's a
Yeah.
real thing.
I think what people need to remember, like in the comic book community, we're all fans. We all love superheroes. Superheroes do the right thing. So, like, people love transparency and being open and honest. And obviously, when we get people who aren't, they're treated as a villain. And it's one of them things. Great, really great question, Chris. Thank you for asking that. We'll do one more question from the chat because the time is I'm not even yeah. All-time favorite cover or cover artist?
My favorite cover artist. Ooh, it changes so much, man. I swear every year it's kind of new. I think Mignola's my favorite artist of all time.
Yeah.
But damn, dude, I see some Frazetta and I just go, damn, I want that on my wall at home. I just want to look at that every day. You see some Frazetta, you're like, damn, dude.
Damn.
But yeah, probably Mignola. He'd probably be on my list. I love the negative space and um geez, favorite covers right now? I couldn't tell you right now. Like on it changes so much. I've always liked there's something about like key Spider-Man. I'm not a huge Spidey guy, but there's
Yeah.
something about vintage Spider-Man. I
Yeah.
think of like Romita, just
Right. Yeah.
classic covers. When I think of like just vintage comics, it's one of the first things I think of. And
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
and I think of like ASM like 100 where he's all crawling on the black,
Yeah.
or just like 129, freaking the Punisher, the Scope. Like I think of
Yeah.
those covers. Super impactful, but like I'm not a huge Punisher guy. I'm not a huge Spider-Man guy.
Yeah.
I think J. Scott Campbell is so much fun. Like the dude just draws such like sexy women, and then
Sexy
just
women. Yeah.
I'm like, I need just like take all my money kind of thing. Like it's just gorgeous. Alex Ross, one of the goats. He's got a cool
Yeah.
Kingdom Come documentary coming out. I'm excited to watch
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Alex Ross is a great artist. Brilliant question again. Thank you very much, Fuzzy, for that. Really appreciate you dropping in, buddy. Tom, have you got any plans for with your channel? Are you planning to do any new content? I know like your top 10 comics, your hot top 10 comics does consistently well. It always has done. Is there anything like new that you're thinking about introducing? Are you planning on like doing any live shows? I think there is like an audience for that. People would like to see that different side of like an unscripted video. I think people would like to see like you are tonight. I think people would
Sure.
love this.
Yeah, we did the podcast for a couple years.
Yeah.
We did like I want to say like 60 some odd podcasts that were an hour and a half to 2 hours long. And I'm interested in kind of diving back into that. We had to take a break from doing the content beyond the hot 10 and the trending 10, just because of Crashdown, because we wrote a comic book. It was taking all my creative energy to do that, and time, frankly,
Yeah.
to accomplish that. So that's why the podcast slowed down. And now that the graphic novel's coming out and we're like, like the book is finished, but we're still like, we're finishing everything with the graphic novel. We're now able to kind of like, well, me personally, let's kind of take a step back and go like, all right, like what do I want to create now? Like, what is it that we're going to provide the community that's, a bit more valuable in
Yeah.
terms of content that they may find entertaining. And yeah, we have some stuff planned out. We're going to be coming back to what I will say is, yes, the trending and hot 10 are scripted, but they're
Yeah.
not scripted like a teleprompter.
Yeah.
It's
Ryan said last
70%,
week.
you know. What was that?
Ryan said last week you're a bit like Ron Burgundy. You read everything that's on the teleprompter.
Yeah, just I'll read it. Whatever it says, that's what it says. That's what comes out of my mouth. No, it's like it's a lot of improv is really what it is.
Yeah.
Doing different takes, different monologues, and then like deciding like, I really like that version of how I said that. Let's do it again, maybe a different way. And then we'll write jokes and stuff. So it's a weird creative thing that we do because we're trying to make the best content in the short amount of time.
Yeah.
Anything else that we're doing will not be like that. Yeah, it's going to be more reaction and more I don't want to call it like, it's not what we do on the Trending and Hot 10. It's not that it's inauthentic. It's just it's less entertainment and more informational.
Informative. Yeah.
Yeah. Whereas like anything else that I'm going to be doing going forward, it's definitely going to be more like I want to have some fun on the mic, just reacting to stuff and chatting
like
about
current events and stuff like that.
Yeah. Current events. I mean, I have a series right now I'm starting to do with Davis Ryder, which is like kind of covering more news stuff. There's no comic talk. It's literally just movie stuff and announcements and chatting about Null recently. It was like a lot of fun. It's like, okay, we're trying to kind of
a bit different.
Step into that. And it allows us to be a bit more like, you know, more ourselves on camera because we have the time to do it. You know, when you cover 10 comics, you want to get it done in under 15 minutes. And then you got an intro and an outro, key collector plug. I got to tell you about the freaking mail call to fund this whole thing. Like, you got like a minute per book with 2 other people at the table who also want to talk. That's just not feasible to really do the most with it. So, but yeah, we have some stuff cooking and expect it in the next couple weeks. You know, we're kind of getting things ready. I just moved my warehouse. We had to get a new space and it's like exciting times, but I'm like building a set for the new era of content.
Yeah, that sounds really good. I think people will enjoy that. And that kind of leads me into my next question. Just before that, Sticky Goose says that Mother Goose would destroy Tom at Magic. Is it his wife? I don't know if
he calls his wife Mother Goose.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't think I have to say anything. I don't.
Well, save that for tomorrow. You can talk about it. But that kind of leads me into my next question, which is, what is your take on Jem Mint leaving the channel? I don't know if you saw. I interviewed Jem about a month or so ago, just recently after the announcement came
Everyone
out.
Interviewed Jem. He made his rounds.
Yeah, I know. He really. I mean, he's not in the chat, but he really whored himself out, didn't he, to everybody?
A little bit, didn't he?
Yeah, but so what is your take? Because when I did the interview with him, I felt it came across as really powerful to me. Like he's rejuvenated, and he was really vulnerable in that interview. I mean, you all know better than anybody. He is a really great guy, and he, ever since like that's happened, he's repeatedly come out and said that you're like one of his best friends. So there's no like ill will or anything. But what do you think? Like, do you think there's an impact for your channel, like him leaving, like view wise? Because he's a big player in the game.
Oh, geez, I just don't really think about it like that. I haven't looked at the numbers in that way. I mean, he's only been gone for like a month and a half. I think we built something that's so strong. And when I say we built it, it's not just us. I mean, this is a list that anyone could make content on.
Yeah.
This is out for days before we ever release the video. And some people do. It's Key Collector Comics. Shout out Nick Colonies. But, the show itself and how we formatted it and how we chose to talk about the books and, and what we did every week together. It was like our brainchild. So it's still trucking and doing well. And I think that's a testament to his participation in it since the beginning for like 4 years. It was great. I don't think that it's changed the video, but I think it's forced me to kind of do what he did on his channel, and kind of take a step back and go, okay, well, change is coming. How do we make things even better for our audience? And what was nice is that Golden Age Guru was able to step in,
and
he
and
is
Ryan as well.
And Ryan too. Yeah, especially
Yeah.
when I was sick. Like that was actually really nice.
Yeah.
I don't know if that is something I would have done in the past. I probably would have forced myself to make the video
Yeah.
while being sick, because if Gem Mint's gonna take time to like make a video with you, you do what you have to
You do,
freaking
yeah.
do. And in this case, I sat out probably for the first time in 4 years. I actually don't think I've missed a hot 10 in 4 years, and I've missed
Wow.
trending videos before, but that's because
Yeah, because Ryan said
Gem.
that you yeah, because Ryan said that you would like do it if you were away, you'd do it in a hotel room, you make yourself available pretty much to do it.
Oh yeah, man. I would the grind for the hot 10 and trending video, I think is I think a lot of people would be surprised how difficult
Yeah.
it is to
Is it
accomplish that every week.
is that because it's like your flagship content, like what you're primarily known for, you know, on YouTube?
Yeah, I mean it's important.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people who rely on it. But it's hard to do. It's
Yeah.
really hard to do. The list itself needs to be generated, and then there's 2 different lists. One of them is a list of 20. So I actually have involvement in the 10 books that
Yeah.
we actually are going to bring to the mic and talk about. The other list is curated by Key Collector, but we also have input now because we are a preview to all the data, and we have a like Jeff, the Golden Age specialist on the show, like he is preview to this data, so we can provide
Yeah.
some context there. But it's just a lot of time. We have to go through collecting all the data and then figuring out why people are spending the money they are,
Yeah.
and then compile that, and then do all the things you would expect us to do. Check GPA, check eBay, check,
Yeah.
Comic Link and Heritage and like all these different places. I can't tell you
It's
how
a
many
lot of
times
work.
where it's like, we're talking about 15 sales, but one of the sales seems weird, and we want to see the picture of the book. And the next thing you know, we have the picture from Heritage, and we're looking up the cert, and we're pulling that on CGC. Wait a minute, this sold 2 years ago. Is there a picture of that? And it's like we go down this rabbit hole to find out like this is just nonsense, boring. There's
Yeah.
nothing here. And there's a lot of those types of moments, but every once in a while we'll go, "Oh, this is why we do what we do. We got to bring
Yeah.
this to the mic. We got to talk about this in this way." It takes hours to produce the script, and then I personally have to like prepare. I practice. I like literally practice what I do in front of a mirror sometimes.
Yeah.
Like I don't just go and sit down and just it comes out. Like I
Do you
gotta
have
wake
to
up.
do you have to like mentally prepare yourself? Because obviously interacting with you here on this show this evening or this afternoon for you, like you're not like that hot, what you're quite known for. You're quite exuberant, and do you have to mentally gear yourself up to do that before each take,
No, I mean once
or
I'm
does
like
it
ready
flow
to
out of you
go.
like like
Well,
wine?
well, I'm like there's a it's hard to express, but like I'm not just hosting.
Yeah,
I am also directing and
yeah,
producing at the same time. I have a
yeah.
mixer here. I have
So you
3
like
monitors
yeah,
here. I have lights up here. Um, I have 2 different hosts that have nothing to do with any of the actual production. I have the scripts here that they need to be able to like reference. And when you're in a mode like that, which is like, it's just how the video gets made. It's like, it's my brainchild, like to be able to do this. What ends up happening is I'm having to like not just worry about what I'm saying, I'm worrying about what Jeff is saying and what Ryan's saying,
yeah,
and also trying to bring the best out of them too. So there is a part of me where it's like, if I come in and I'm like, okay, guys, I don't want to do this today. All right, guys, hot 10. We're gonna do the trending 10 or whatever. Like
yeah,
we're gonna just
yeah.
all of a sudden they're like, if I'm typically at like 90%, they're gonna come in at 70 naturally. But if I come in at 70, they're gonna just adjust and be at 40. And the next thing you have a
Yeah,
shit video. So I've been doing this trending video every single week.
for 4 years.
That was the hot 10.
Yeah.
The hot
Oh, okay.
10's been over 4 years. I've been doing the trending video for 6 years.
Oh, wow.
I mean, I think it's like, yeah, 6 years. In June,
Yeah.
it's over 6 years now. Every single week. I've actually sat out of the trending video, I think a total of 5 times in 6 years. And it's
Wow.
been because of either I was sick last week, but I still did the video last week because Ryan was sick. So I didn't even get a chance to break on Friday. I was sick. It was awful. But
Yeah, because you passed on your sickness to Ryan, didn't you?
yeah, I got Ryan sick.
Poor guy.
Yeah, I got him sick. But yeah, it's like so you have the video scripting and then you have the preparation. I can't just sit down and look at a list and go, okay, guys, this is what's going on. I gotta like go over the comic. I have to like pull up on Marvelocity and like see if I can I see pictures of this book? Like, what panel is spiking this thing? Like I need to see it. I need to assess it.
Yeah.
And then also there's parts of it where it's like I want to dive a little bit deeper. So like, is there something else I can uncover that will be valuable to bring to the mic that no one else is going to think to talk about?
Yeah.
So my grind every week for the better part of 6 years, pushing 7 years, has been the videos changed filming days a couple times.
Yeah.
But it's been like this. Thursday we get the numbers, like what books are going to be eligible to talk about. We figure out what books we're going to talk about. We do the script. The script gets created. I take the script. Russ takes the script. Ryan takes the script, and we all just digest it and then do our own research. In a group chat, we're like, oh, we can talk about this. We can talk about this. And I'm like, oh, this person mentioned this. Look at this interview. Look at this.
Yeah.
And we add. And then we record. The recording takes a couple hours. And then it goes over to our editor. And it'll take like upwards of 8 hours to edit the video. And then we have to go through the video with a fine-tooth comb, make sure all the tags are right, and make sure that everything's accurate and that we're not accidentally doing something wrong. And then we have to go through and fix that if there's any of those changes, edit, cut, and then go through the release of the video, which also takes ample time. Now, I have help now because I have Fire Guy Ryan who like does this with me, and I have editors now. But the first 4 years, 3 years of me doing this was all me. I would literally like no one in my life talked to me from Thursday till Saturday morning because I was literally just doing that whole grind, every piece of it by myself. And I have no training in Photoshop, no official training in Adobe, no official training in anything regards to editing. I taught myself. So in the early days, I was just like YouTubing how to do a thumbnail and YouTubing how to switch cameras and like, oh, why doesn't my computer export this file? Oh, it's because I have a shit computer. I need to spend more money. And like, and it was a ruckus. Like, there was the first like 4 years of me doing this is just figure it out as I go.
I think a real compliment to you, Tom, is that I don't think anyone has ever questioned like the production value of even back in the way, obviously when you were editing. So fair play to you because you've consistently done well over the past few years. And I want to say that when I had Jem on the channel, he talked about the matching the energy levels between himself and you. And I've got a few more questions. I hope you don't mind.
You're good, man. We're good on time. Yeah, we're good.
Sure, yeah. I don't want to keep you any longer. So Jem mentioned about matching the energy levels, and I just want to play a little video, if that's all right, just to show you the bit of the clip. That's right.
And I mentioned this in the other video, like kind of matching Tom's energy. I would watch back, and he's like, Tom, and I'm me, and I'm like, oh, yo, what up? This is Jem. So I'm like, let me be a little bit more professional. At this time, I'm more comfortable on the mic, so I'm a little bit more articulate and everything. And I think I kind of became maybe too professional, maybe might have been it, where that was never really me. I was known for being like the guy that was drunk as hell, taking my live stream in the car to Taco Bell with like 7 people on stream. Like that was me before that. And I think I lost some of myself. And I've heard people say, this is so damn true. You lost the soul of your channel in this kind of, okay, now I'm working with companies. Maybe I shouldn't do these things, or maybe I shouldn't say this because maybe it'll look bad for somebody else, And again, these are all things that are just within my control and just what I felt was the right move at the time. And looking back, it's I shouldn't have done it. I should have just stayed true to myself.
So that was he was basically talking about how like he felt he really couldn't be himself because he was aware that working with you, that you're involved in quite a lot of, you've got sponsorships with, you know, you work with a lot of companies like Key Collector, whatnot. So he kind of felt like, this is what I'm only going by what he's saying there, but that he felt that he couldn't really be himself. Is that something that, oh, sorry, Tom, I can't hear you, buddy. Is that me or you? Hold on. So I can't, can you hear me?
Am I there?
Oh, yeah, I can hear you now.
Whoa, it just like
Did it mute you?
On me. It swapped on me. That's
What?
weird.
Do you know what? I thought my sound had gone. I thought, oh my God, I'm not going to be able to hear him.
You're good.
Oh gosh.
I don't know what happened. Yeah, you know, the thing with that, I mean, we have different perspectives. You know, obviously Jem's experience is his experience, but to make the Hot 10 remotely, we can't see each other. Like the way that we're communicating right now, that's not how we made that video. I didn't see his face. The way that we did it is we Bluetoothed phone call. So if you look at our Hot 10 when we did our videos, you'd see that sometimes like I'd have a Bluetooth in and I'd angle the headphone because I have to hear myself talk because that's just how I'm trained to do this now. And there's no like organic back and forth that's easy to have happen. It kind of just happens when it does. But like when you're sitting with someone, you can see them, you kind of play off people's like facial expressions and you can kind of work on timing differently. So naturally, I had to kind of lead this video. And then also like it's Gem Mint. Like he's one of my best friends, but also like I'm not about to waste this guy's time. Like when I screw up, it is like he can screw up. Oh, dude, my freaking camera messed up. We have to re-record the video. And I'm like, that sucks. But yo, when I screw up, I feel bad. It's his time I'm wasting. So there's high pressure on my end because I want to respect his time. He's doing this with it's my video. He didn't get anything for the video. He gives me his time. So when it's so easy, especially when you're recording in that way, to just like look at the freaking clock and go, dude, we went 30 minutes long. Like 30, not record time. I'm saying after edit, we're looking at 25, 30 minutes. And it's like, yo, no one's going to watch a 25, 30-minute video of us talking about New Mutants 98 for the 30th time. And also, like, we probably just like rambled and like, we got to cut it up. We got to like, and also someone's going to edit this shit. So like, if we want to get this out in a reasonable amount of time, we can't be giving an editor 30 minutes worth of footage to edit. We have to give them something that's going to end up being closer to 15, 20 minutes. So when you put all these confines around the videos, because that's what it takes to make them successful, you get a certain type of experience with it that is very different from his statue videos. It's very different from when I make a podcast. And it's definitely something that I've had guests sit in on the trending video. They couldn't do it. Like I've had, I won't name names, but there have been people who are like, yo, I'm going to be up in the area. Can I sit in? And I'm like, yeah, dude, you could totally do that. And when they get here and they see how this goes, I'm like, I'm going to give you one number. And they'll sit here for freaking 20 minutes and we'll get one number done. And then they leave and then I get the rest of the video done. It's just because it's not easy to do. And it's just a lot that goes into it. So it's the style of content. And also it brings it out of me too. Like the you know, being very trying to be charismatic and entertaining. It's like a part of it is like, I really enjoy it, man. Like there's something fun about this. Like it's that question that we got earlier. Like it's like personal interest. How important is that to the success of it? Oh, dude, I get excited to see the list. I get excited that Russ goes, why the hell is that number 5 on the list? Why don't we put that at number 10? And I'm like, because you didn't buy the book, but everyone else did. And we got to figure out why they bought it to that extent. And like, it's the uncovering of information, learning about comics, having an excuse to open books and to read storylines, to understand it better. Like there's a lot. It's a lot of fun. Like I truly enjoy it. So what you see is real. Like the passion ends up coming through, but also, yeah, there's like it's showmanship and like I'm trying to bring the best out of people. But yeah, those videos are very unique. I don't know of any others that do the kind of stuff that we're trying to do on the channel. And it's different than what Jem did. So I don't blame him for it putting him out of his comfort zone for sure.
Yeah.
But I think also what we've seen Jem do is make a lot of other content that's very diverse since he's made this change that started with separating from the channel a bit and doing other things. And I think he's like, he's finding that passion again for himself because he does so much. I mean, he's Jem in collectibles. He doesn't have these like outside of his statue review videos. I would say things he like is dedicated to do every single certain day of the week, like he used to do with like I don't know reading comics, you know, or whatever. So he's like rediscovering that, and I think that that's a big part of it. But also I will mention too the whole thing with like sponsors and stuff. I bet that guy's had more sponsors on his channel than I have had. I don't understand why people think that I have all these people tied to my channel, these companies. I have Whatnot as a partner. I'm a Whatnot partner, but they are not a sponsor of my YouTube show anymore. They sponsored me in 2023 all year. And I had to make plugs for my Whatnot streams. That was the extent of the partnership. They don't sponsor my show anymore. I do different stuff with them, completely separate from YouTube. I think like in my contract that I have with them, I have to do a YouTube plug like 4 times a quarter to plug the events that I'm doing. So like it's not a sponsor. I was also I'm not a sponsor of Key Collector. I'm an affiliate. I've never taken sponsorship from Key Collector, and that's purposeful because I'm like Nick Colonnese is one of my best friends, and there's got to be some way to track our collaboration.
To be fair, Tom, that's my I said the word sponsor. I don't think that was my. No,
you're not the only one though, man. I hear people. I've heard people mention like that I can't talk about certain things a lot, and because like I'm worried about who I'm gonna piss off. It's like, no, man. I've literally been sponsored by a couple places, and the longest sponsorship I ever had was with Whatnot for 1 year. But like other than that, I've never taken money for a Kickstarter. I've never been sponsored to talk about a variant comic book that someone's producing. If I've ever talked about something, it's because I wanted to talk about it. If there's a creator that I cover, it's because I want to talk about it. I take pride in that. So I've never been sponsored by CGC either.
Yeah. No, what I think what's good to know is that, you know, when people start off doing like yourself, did you say you started 6 years ago doing YouTube?
Yeah, 7. Yeah.
So 7 years, sorry. So 7 years ago, would you have imagined that where you are at this point now, would you imagine that you'd be there? Like having all these affiliations and having your own comic book out, having, you know, a very successful YouTube channel where you get consistent, you know, views every week from a you know, very informative, great video, and, you know, you have your own Mystery Malcolm mystery boxes coming out.
No. And it's like it was never the goal either.
No,
but like no, I mean I definitely never thought that I'd make as big of a splash, if you'd call it that, in the comic game. But I'm definitely very grateful, and it's a privilege and it's an honor, and it's definitely something that keeps me going, you know, because it's like, all right, I'm definitely it pushes me to keep wanting to do better. You know, because if people find value in what I do, then the next thing is like, oh damn, well then how can I provide even more? You know, if someone says that they enjoy what I do and it gives them entertainment or helps them through a time of their life, or it got them into the community, which has now become an important part of, you know, what they do day to day. I take that very seriously. And it gives me so much motivation to just like get the hell up and start bagging and boarding, you know, like I got a long box on my coffee table right now. I'm itching to get to, you know, like that's just what it's about.
How many hours do you reckon you spend a week bagging and boarding?
Bagging and board, not that many It's
does Ryan do it? Or Ryan did say does a lot of it.
I got a guy at the warehouse who'd be doing. I mean, we got like, let's say if we're helping, like, let's say if we got, I don't know, 1,000 members in the mail call 1 month or something. The numbers change it depends on the books that we use and the time of year, etc. But if we got like 1,000 people in the mail call, each box gets 5 comics in it.
Yeah.
Right. And each box has to be, and there's a print in there that we bag and board as well. So that's like 6 items. Do the math. It's a lot of freaking work to damage control, to make sure that every book is going to be appropriate to go out there. Yeah, we got kids who subscribe to our box. Like, there's a whole mechanism in place for me to make sure that there is no porn comics that go out of our warehouse, and we don't even want them in there in case.
No titty books.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you got to be careful. Like, some of these books you wouldn't even, you'd be like, wait a minute, what? So yeah, like I don't bag and board as much anymore. I don't box books anymore. And I have people who I pay a contractor come in and do shipping and stuff like that. But man, dude, like my grind for comics, I'm always doing this. Like I spend time with my family and I spend time with comic books. That is it. That's all I do.
Wow.
Yeah.
No, so in terms of the mystery mail call, what do you think sets apart from other mystery boxes? Because you will know, as I will know, that mystery boxes across, the comic world, there was a lot of. I mean, I bought mystery boxes in the past, and I will never speak ill of the companies or whatever, but there haven't been particularly any good, and that's the gamble, you would probably say. Some obviously, I mean, I've never purchased one of yours, and I would love to give it a go.
Sure.
So I might. To be fair, do you know what, Tom? I'm gonna do one for October.
Check it out, man. We got a really cool book. Well, I think that I love, all kinds of ways to like purchase comics. Like I used to like be big into grab bags on eBay. I used to purchase those all the time. As far as our box, the first thing is, if you like what I do, you like the videos I make every single week for the community.
Yep.
That's the first benefit. You're directly supporting what I do. I make zero money off of YouTube monetization. The money that I made from Whatnot last year while they sponsored my show, 100% of the money went into my editor's pockets and into the production.
Oh, wow.
All of it. That's how it's been since the beginning. If I make any money off YouTube through monetization, can you do this thing for $300 or whatever? Like DC wanted me to cover Wonder Woman 84 on the channel. And they pay me like $600 or something like that to like watch a trailer. All that just goes right into production. Like, all right, let's get new microphones, better lighting, pay an editor, pay someone to like help us with thumbnails and revise this. Like, there's just no money in it. It costs more money for us to make the hot 10 and the trending 10 and any content than we make off of the videos. Wow. So since the beginning, that's been the way that we were able to make the videos, is through the mail calls. So the first thing is like my utmost, like just being like the peeps that I meet at conventions that are like, yo, I subscribe to the mail call. I've been doing it for a long time. It's like, oh damn, you're an OG supporter. Like that's literally how I make content, is because of people like yourself. So that's the first benefit, is that you're supporting the free content we make, and anything that you find valuable or that you find entertaining or something that added any type of benefit to your life or into comics at all. That's the first thing you get, is you're supporting us. I could have a Patreon. I could have, I could do live videos and take super chats. I don't think there's anything wrong with any of those things. I could take sponsorships after sponsorships. Like, I'm sure if I told every publisher before every video I make, because I probably have one of the strongest collectors
connections,
attention of any YouTube channel, probably, that I could get paid to do it. $500 every single video. That sounds really nice. I don't do that. And I have never done that, nor will I do that. Because a lot of reasons. But the main thing is, like, I knew from the beginning that if I could provide a product or service, then that's how that's gonna be the relationship. I'm not gonna just take money. We have done live streams. We have taken super chats before, but I've also never built that into our ongoing plan. And there's a reason why we don't have like group membership on YouTube and a Patreon, or I've never done a GoFundMe or anything like that. Like we do everything in-house, and it's because I know I can get comics out to our supporters. So we started the mail call before the YouTube channel. I started YouTube with like 30, 40 people who are already subscribed to my box just through Instagram and me like providing value. So that's the first thing. There's a whole lot to say that, hey, you're supporting the channel, but it's $34.99. You get 5 products on average, 2 back issues. That could be a key, could be a minor key, could be a modern book, it could be a variant, whatever. You also are guaranteed 2 exclusives, and you're guaranteed a print. And also I get a lot of free shit. And whenever I get free shit, I throw it in there and I pop it in there. You know, if I get, hey, publishers like, hey, they just send stuff, you know, here's a box of this new Transformers book. Awesome. Well, we're going to mark them all and say, hey, here's a bonus. And we just throw that kind of stuff in there. That's what we do. We just try to hook it up. And I mean, you're out in the UK, maybe prices are a little different, but like,
I was going to say,
average,
what's the shipping to the UK, Tom? This is brutal.
This is real, it's like $15, $20 or something, but the shipping's terrible for you for everything, you know? So, but like, what would you guess, like on average, when you see a standard exclusive book come out, Peach Momoko, you know, how much is a retailer selling that for? $20?
20, 30
on average, right? So you get 2 books, and the 2 books on average are retailer suggested price is going to be between $15 and $20. My goal is to make books worth more than that, right? But the way that ends up working out is like between the 2 books, you're paying for the box. And every once in a while, and I try to, this is my job, is to try to do the best I can. We have a month like this month where the Peach Momoko book that's guaranteed 1 per box is selling for the cost of the box. So you're in the clear. And my community not only supports the show, but the goal is for them to get something worth more than what they're paying. It's $34.99. I work with some damn cool artists. We had a John Boy red band variant last month. Banger. Absolute banger. Sold for $45 right out the gate. Box is $34.99. So we try to do our best to like make the box special every month. I got 29 days every single month to make something special for the people who support the show. That's what it's about.
So Tom, in terms of and I hope you don't mind me, I'm not like trying to pry or anything here. So in terms of like, I know you obviously have to pay for your like your living and Ryan as well. Is your money coming from like the mail call then? Is that how you guys like live?
I mean, the right now my team, I co-run the business with my business partner, and then I have Ryan and I have August. So it's like technically 4 people. And then I have editors and contractors that probably make up another 1 FTE, you know? So I mean, that's a lot. It's a good amount of people to keep it going. So, you know, where money comes in a lot of different ways. I mean, mail call, there's margins there. Also, I'm a dealer, dude. Like I'm an art rep. I also sell original art. I work with various artists, and specifically like Johnny Desjardins a lot more than others, but like Ben Templesmith as well. I also I'm a dealer. Like I collect. I purchase collections, stores, and go through and make deals happen. Sell out long boxes to this guy over here. I'm going to get these graded. I'm going to put these on eBay. I'm going to put these on Whatnot. I'm going to give these away. Like I'm just always doing comic stuff. And as long as my community knows that I'm going to try to get them the best deals on comics, hook them up as much as humanly possible, be the most conservative with my grading. So when they get books, they're going, damn, he undersold this book. It's a win-win for everybody.
Yeah. No. And to be fair, what, you know, you're providing, you've done incredibly well to have like a team of like five people or how many it is to like, in order to sustain a living. It's like you are quite the entrepreneur, if I'm being honest. You like
I appreciate that.
I think it's very, very, very good of you. You've got Razor Comics here saying that he's signing up for a subscription box now. So there you go.
Welcome to the community, my brother. Well, I'll give you this.
No, but yeah, I will check on out, buddy, and I will I do want a copy of Crashdown as well. So if I can get that together, I don't know. How you,
Heck yeah. No, I'll hook it up, man. We got to send you some stuff. We'll make it happen. What was the NDA? There's someone had an NDA question too. Tom may be under NDA. What was that about?
Was that old or new? Sorry.
How lucrative was Whatnot? Like during
Tom
the
may have
sponsorship?
under an NDA. I would not ask someone how much they make by comic sales. Lucrative in terms of sponsorship side. MJ Comics, question for Tom. He may refuse to answer, obviously. How lucrative was Whatnot? Again, he does not have to answer. In fact, I expect him not to.
Oh.
That's what I think that figure drawing might be on about in terms of an NDA. I don't know.
Yeah. No, I mean, I am on NDA, so I can't get into like specific numbers. What I will say is I have never had a sponsor be as good or come to the table to like actually do stuff with us as a channel as Whatnot. Diehard Whatnot, the people over there absolutely love comic books. And they made it possible for us to like do what we did. Nothing crazy, you know, but enough for us to be able to make more video content and do some damn cool streams. I gave away House of Secrets 92 last year, 5 copies ASM 300. I gave away Brave and the Bold 28. I gave away Iron Man 1. I probably gave away more blue chip keys than anybody who you've ever watched on YouTube in 5 years, 10 years. And I did that in 1 year because we had the backing of Whatnot. And that's how we did it. It's just like, what was cool about working with Whatnot is they're like, hey, yo, we just want to like give back. And you seem like someone we can trust to do it with. So let's just make, you make content. And what was cool about Whatnot is that they were like, yo, we don't want you to just like go on the screen and tell people you like, it's like, don't go on the screen and be inauthentic. Like it has to be real. And if you being real one day meant you wearing a hat, it just says Whatnot on the hat, and that's the only thing that's said. Like you don't even say the words Whatnot. That's what you feel like you want to do that day.
Yeah,
that counts. That counts. That's your ad for the week. I'm like, okay, cool.
What I will say is when my experience of using Whatnot, I've you come across some sellers and then you come across like I haven't tuned into one of your streams because obviously I think like it's £30 postage with Whatnot for me, which is quite a bit for some comics, but I feel like your energy level is perfect for Whatnot because you are very much like like a salesman in terms of like you can get that, you can really sell that book, whereas and I've seen some streams where they've not got like a lot of people in and they're really not talking up the book, and you see the book go for like you're just thinking what, like why are you on here selling, like you just sell them on eBay because you're not gonna like I do feel sorry for some people on there in terms of like the viewership in comparison to other channels, but that's the way of the world, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's like you gotta just you gotta want to do it. And I didn't get to my position on Whatnot by just coasting and complaining. Like I invest to grow my community. There are people that I will shop for. I will literally go out of my way and say, hey, Ryan, I need more Rose Besh. Specifically, I need some Rose Besh Poison Ivy because Sarah likes to collect it. I follow her on Instagram and she mentioned she really likes Rose Besh. And, I have an audience on Whatnot because I'm people's dealer now, and that's their way of connecting with me. And I will go out of my way to make sure that Sarah gets that Rose Besh book that I paid $2 for, and I'm going to sell it to her for $4, and I'm going to pay $1 in fees. Like I don't make money off of that. But the thing is that I want everyone to know that wants to connect with me, but have difficulty doing it because I have so many different social platforms. I have so many people reaching out all the damn time that, you know where you can't find me? Live on Whatnot. And I'm just chilling for freaking 5 hours. And if you want to talk to me about comics, come by. I'm on there. And you know what? And if you want a comic, you can buy one from me, or you can be one of the 40 people who are going to get a giveaway that stream. Because I do on average 30 to 50 giveaways every single stream.
That's crazy, man. That's absolutely like that's so generous. So you know how you sort of talked about like remembering that what your customers want and stuff like that. That really really helps. I think like I mean you'll probably see like Gem Mint doing his live weekly weekly shows. He knows the people in the chat. Like he remembers. He's got like a solid memory, man. And I can only imagine that you're exactly the same. Like you haven't got to where you are without having a really good memory. But yeah, no, hats off to you, buddy. Really, really good.
Derek asking about hero restoration. Do you have time to chat about that?
Tom, I've all I've been concerned about is your time. So if you're happy
good, man.
to,
You're good.
You sure? Because you said at the beginning of the stream an hour, and I was like, oh my god. I purposely
you're good, man.
thought I purposely like normally I ask 10 questions, right? I think of like 10 different like questions to ask. And I thought I'll make it 8 because I know Tom is like super busy. And then
you're good, man.
we were like question 2 where it's like 40 minutes. I was like, oh my days. But yeah.
Oh my days. I like that. I'm gonna use that. Oh my days. Yo, so hero restoration. This is like why
was that enough?
I don't do sponsorships anymore.
Yeah, because you can't control what other people do. I know
were
you involved with them like a few years back, were you?
Yeah, he sponsored the show for 2.5 months. He paid half of what he was supposed to pay for us to do the sponsorship. It was like I'm obviously not on NDA with them, and he's got a lot worse problems to figure out. So I don't think it matters. It was something like, I'm trying to remember what the terms were. It was like $500 a month, but I also got $500 in services. It was something like that because I was like, I didn't need it, but I liked the idea of working with someone who had a team of people who focused on repairing and restoring and pressing and cleaning and all of that kind of thing. So I'm like, the content will be awesome. And I was approached by so many people. And to this day, I get approached by people who do this as a service. And they're like, yo, Tom, can we team up? Can we team up? I want to take on more stuff. The problem with working with restoration and pressing and grading companies is that they get tapped out really quick. They take on the work and then they can't take any more. And then they're like, all right, I'm out of business for 6 months. I got to catch up.
Yeah.
And if I'm working on a relationship, it's like, well, dude, I just did the plug for you. Now you're tapped out and now you don't want to work with me anymore. That happened one time. And I'm like, oh, so I can't really like make this a thing. So hero restoration, Mike DeChalis, that dude is one of the most, because he still is. He's an artist. Like can I swear on this show?
Yeah.
Fuck that guy. Like legit. He can go fuck himself. Like I can't stand that person. People who steal and all that kind of stuff, like dead to me. Like nothing to do with him. However, that guy used to do some of the best artistic grading, pressing services I've ever seen. And not just for me. I'm talking for like higher ups at CGC, CBCS, like his the people that worked with him. It was it's like his track record was like known in the industry. You know what I mean? So it's like, oh damn, I'm talking to Mike DeChalis. Like this guy, like we joke that he's a doctor because like he does miracles on these books. It was like that. So I'm thinking like, oh damn, he's got a team of people over there. He's got artists he pays to redo panels. And I'm like, oh, how cool would it be to like be in the room to watch them recreate Kirby stuff? Like I'm thinking like this could be a really fun like content trade-off here. And I'm like, yo, and he can't afford a sponsorship. I don't really care about the money. I just want to have the services because I want to market your service and etc. Within the first month, I knew that there would be problems.
Oh man.
It was within the first month because he was all over the place. He's like, oh, we're changing the names. We're changing like all of his services changed right away. And I'm like, dude, I just like explained to people your services and now you're just like not doing half of them. And I'm like, oh, this is looking weird. And then, by like, he just like stopped paying and he couldn't really do any work together. And he also didn't ever give me, like, I never went through the process since we started chatting about like, I give you books, you fix them, get them graded, and I see how they came out. I never went through that whole cycle. I never got a chance to. And there's people who worked there that I was friends with that actually kind of connected us. And that's when I'm like, hey, like this guy's not returning my calls, and I don't really think he's serious about doing anything. And then I'd be chatting with like an employee there, and he goes, oh, dude, he like hasn't paid me, and it's not good here, and you probably shouldn't. And I'm like, oh, this isn't working. Like I'm just not going to do anything. And then like a year and a half went by, and then you start hearing things like, he's just like what happened to their website? Where are they on Instagram? They just like, they kind of just fell off.
Yeah.
And then he had like a heart attack. Like, I don't know. Like it's like story after story. And I don't know. I talked to him like maybe 4 times in total outside of like the channel. And I was trying to like be a resource because like he was somebody of importance, you know, like somebody who's been doing this for a long time. It's really unfortunate that he chose to go down the route he did. Fortunately, he's being brought to court for it, and he's been arrested, and there's a phone number out there. Like, you know, if you're part of anything,
you can get in touch with the authorities.
Yeah, like get in touch with the authorities. I didn't want to speculate about anything or talk about it outside of just like getting the information out there. Like I posted it like, hey, this viewer impacted, here's the phone number. Just because like it's people's books were on the line potentially, and I didn't want to add, you know, like I'm not the comic police. You have one time I say something in just the right way, and enough people attend to do something, it could actually make problems worse. So I'd be very responsible when it comes to that.
You would have been well within your rights to do like a video to talk about it, and it would have done incredibly well view-wise. So your integrity with that, because you could have just gone, you know what, I'm going to do a video and talk about it. I know it's going to get 20, 30,000 views and it's going to do well. But
I don't do that kind of content, man.
No. So hats off to you for that, to be fair.
Yeah, I don't. That's something that I think may surprise people. I talk about stuff when I want to talk about it. I don't talk about it because of views. And I made that decision a long time ago.
No, that's I really do that. I think that's great of you, to be fair.
Well, I mean, and now you have people like 99 Newsstand who's in the chat. You have people like Swaggle Haas. You know, they do a great job. I get my content from them as it pertains to like things that are happening in the community, things that are maybe a little bit more dramatic or hot button topics. Like I would end up just like rehashing things that they say because I agree with how they handle stuff. So like what's the point? You know, there's someone else who's doing it better. I stay in my lane. I don't want to be comic police.
Yeah. No. I mean, and I hope like Wayne has said this, that I'm asking the right questions and being respectful, and I hope you like agree I'm not like overstepping any boundaries. I would hate to think that you'd think I was doing that. But I thank you for talking about hero restoration, to be fair. What is your thoughts on PSA grading comic books and the whole CGC Bengate situation? Have you come across
the banana thing?
The banana
it's not good. It's not good. Yeah, I mean, I thought it interesting that that they were like, their response at CGC was, we've determined that we didn't mess up any comics, but it does bend.
Yeah, we
That's
fixed.
funny.
It is funny that they come out and said we fixed the thing that's bending the books, but it's not bending the books and causing damage. But we fixed the thing, so don't worry. It's a bit crazy. No, but
that's not good, man. I mean, it's not good, but they do it. They grade a lot of books. I think if people understood how many books they graded, they would actually be a bit more impressed that there's not more things looking like a damn pretzel, let alone a banana.
Yeah.
I can't wait for Pretzelgate. And it's just like I'm coining that phrase. It's pretzel. No matter what it is, next time, can we all just
Pretzelgate?
Pretzelgate.
Yeah. The book, yeah. No, to be fair, I won a book recently, a CGC book, and I was like, shit, I should have checked this in when this thing was graded. And luckily, it's been great. It was graded like early last year. Yeah. But then I'm like, oh, because I've won like, do you use mycomicshop.com? Or have you ever used it?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, they're huge.
I mean, I bought here in the so here in the UK, for me, I've been using that since like 2012, 2011. and I made a silly offer on a book, and it got accepted. And I was like, shit, I need to order more things to bulk the order. And now I'm just constantly looking at what the serial numbers and to see, because I don't want a book being delivered and like, oh, it's bent as, you know. But yeah.
You got to check it. I mean, also they'll do a good return policy and stuff, and that's why.
Yeah, honestly, it's a really good business. I'll tell you what we'll do, Tom, because I've kept you now for an hour 45.
You got me 45 minutes later than I expected.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, let's wrap it up. Good.
Can we do one more guess what the cover is, and then we'll end
let's do it, man. Because you've stumped me twice.
Well,
I kind of got Ghost Rider, but I don't know if I really.
No, I think Ghost Rider you had that, but this is the last one, and we'll leave it at that. But what do you think this is from? Should be close to your heart.
Is that Crashdown?
It's Crashdown, baby.
Javon Jordan.
Yeah.
Javon Jordan Crashdown. It's the 1 in 100, baby. That's actually Javon Jordan's very first distributed through Diamond comic book, by the way. It's a 1 in 100, but it's the first one he ever actually had in previews distributed.
Yeah. No, it's I picked that one because I thought it really I thought it might be the most difficult one to try and guess what the cover was, but it's certainly like a vibrant, like attention grabbing cover. So it looks really good, buddy. Really good.
We'll send you one. Hey Ryan, you're in the chat. Make sure you get his info and send him on 1 in 100.
Yeah, so but for people watching, so like when I messaged you asking like, would you be interested in coming onto the channel to talk, you were very much like, yeah, contact Ryan. He'll sort it out. He knows my schedule better than anybody. I was going to be so mad if you didn't get our own book. So he is watching, brilliant. That's good. No, but yeah, so that was an experience. But Tom,
we'll get you Crashdown, man. You can tell me what you think about it.
Yeah. Well, from what I was able to get out yourself and Ryan and my bit of research online, I think it sounds really good, and I hope you guys have every bit of success with it. I think you've been a fantastic guest. I love how open and honest, and like you've just really like. I hope that the chat have really enjoyed like listening to you talk, and I'd love to chat to you again someday. I'd love to.
Let's do it. Let's absolutely do it. And I appreciate the invite, and thank you to the chat who chilled with us. And yeah, I guess until next time.
Yeah, we'll see you guys next time. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. Take care. Bye.
Adios.